Today, there will be many people in our part of the world who will be mesmerized by the total eclipse of the sun, which will happen this afternoon. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Monday. When we consider this natural phenomenon of an eclipse, it's really hard for us to fathom the fact that such a relatively small object like our moon could block out the sun from our view today. We realize that the sun will still be in no way changed. It'll still be just as large. It'll be hot and powerful, just like it is any other day while it stands in our sky. So what will seemingly darken the sun from our view? This only happens when another lesser object comes between us and the sun. So what happens when we let things in this world eclipse the power and the image of God before us? There's actually a passage in Luke chapter 14 where Jesus shocked the multitudes gathered by his own teachings. In John chapter 14 and verse 26, he said, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, his wife and his children, his brothers and his sisters, yes, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple." Surely Jesus is not calling upon his followers to hate their father and mother. We know that there's a commandment that says we should honor our father and mother, and our days will be long upon the earth as a blessing of obeying this commandment. Certainly, we cannot be called to hate any family member, as this passage calls for, when he says we need to hate our wife and children, our brothers and sisters. But it would seem that this is a comparison passion to be measured in our own hearts. Jesus was calling for his followers to be so devoted in loving the Lord that nothing in this world would ever get in our way. It does seem interesting that over in Luke chapter 9, when Jesus is calling out followers, two of the excuses that are given for not following completely right away, one of them wants to return to bury his father. It's like, family trumps Jesus. A second one is an excuse for one not coming because he wants to go and bid farewell to those who are in his house. We can quickly see how things in this world can seek to eclipse God in our daily lives. We all know the examples of families who will miss church quite regularly to watch their children play in some sporting event. Perhaps they will even travel long distances, neglecting their duties to the Lord and the church, as though that child and their future at sports is all-consuming and certainly has some eternal value. I often hear of mothers who are called away from church because their family is coming to visit. We seem to miss the mark in faithfulness to following the Lord completely in these cases. We are also leaving such a bad testimony that everyone else and everything else is more important than the Lord to us. Just after telling these would-be followers to hate father and mother, children, brothers and sisters, Jesus tells them of that sad picture of the one who went out to build a tower, but he did not first count the cost. It seems by Jesus' teaching, he is warning us about those things in our lives that we would allow to eclipse God and Jesus Christ by overtaking our time or our energy or our love and our allegiance. Just as we watch the moon cut across the sky and blot out the sun this afternoon, let's be reminded that there may be things in our lives that eclipse our loyalty, our love, and our service for God. And let's not let that happen.